Cool.
Cool. So a new album, Vanitas, has just been released. Thus far, it seems to be doing quite well in terms of reviews and everything. People seem to be very happy with it.
Yeah.
How would you compare this to the previous album?
Actually, interviews, I hear this question very often, and yeah, the new album title and got new songs on it.
Yeah.
But we improved what you liked on Apostasy. So this is the diversity, the sound itself. So we tried to freshen it up, but without changing Nachtblut.
Yeah.
There are new topics where we went our angel on. So because life changes, especially within the last year, it changes a lot. So
Yeah.
there are a few other topics.
Yeah. And obviously the title itself is very interesting. Why did the band decide this was the correct title to represent the music?
Actually, at first we did the writing process, and just at the end of the writing process, we tried to find something which categorizes all the songs and all the meanings on it.
Mhm.
And you have to know, all our albums are named after Latin or Greek words.
Yeah.
So, and Vanitas is the Latin word for transiency or mortality. And mortality is such a deep topic because it's not only the mortality of humans, but also humanity or regimes, thoughts, feelings. You see,
Yeah.
this is such a deep topic. It's just nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
And also the V stands for the Roman number 5, and this is our 5th album.
It had to be done then.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting time to use a title and reflect on mortality in that way. You know, like you say, it's not just human beings, which is obviously in itself a interesting time to reflect on the mortality of humans when the plague basically is ravaging the world. But like you say as well, you think of like empires and things like that. And is that a time when institutions like the EU are being criticized or questioned, and presidencies and leaderships and that kind of thing? So it seems like a very fitting time to make such reflections.
Indeed, and I think it's a timeless topic because now, because of all that political stuff, of that COVID stuff, we all feel our own mortality in what's ends. But take it 30 years ago, take it 20 years in the future, there will always be something which can be talked about mortality.
Yeah, absolutely. Were those subjects in particular, like I mentioned there, the EU and things like that, were they at the forefront when it came to the themes on the album?
Sorry again?
I was just asking if it was more of political establishments that were at the front of people of the band's minds when the theme of mortality was was coming up as such an important subject.
Yes, it was actually because it means there were so many topics where we all found one thing which took them all together, and this actually was the mortality. Yeah? It's always you can have a specific point of view about each topic.
Yeah.
And Vanitas is what it takes all together.
Yeah. Well, this is your second album with the band so far. How is the experience different this time around, if at all?
At the beginning of Apostasy, the last album, I didn't exactly knew what to expect and how it works. So I just came there and said, okay, let's start it. And we just did it without thinking much about it. This time I knew what I expected. I knew what I wanted to improve and what to do. And so there were more expectations indeed, but I'm very happy with the result. So everything worked out very well.
Yeah. And did you have a little bit more input into songwriting and stuff this time?
I mean, the main songwriting always is from Askerot,
Mm-hmm.
a singer, and we worked together on that after he did the very first demo tapes. But sure, yeah, I was especially even before we writing process when we talked about topics. I mean, we had been a lot of tour with Apostasy. We toured Europe, we toured Russia, we toured China. So yeah, we spent a lot of time together, and at this point, the first ideas started to grow. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the artwork is very striking. It's very eye-catching. How well do you think the art represents the music inside?
Yeah, the front cover shows the band during the COVID lockdown.
All right.
No. Um, uh, the whole Vanitas theme actually is a historical topic. Within the Baroque age, there had been those Vanitas paintings. In German, it's called Stillleben,
Mhm.
with the skulls, the fruits on the table. So they are very popular because you see, mortality or Vanitas also was a topic 100 of years ago. So that's what I mean about timeless.
Yeah.
And you see, and even every object we use within our artwork has a different meaning. It's like the hourglass. The hourglass is for the transience of time. The fallen cat can be the voided life, and uh, in some way, the whole album starts with a life, which is the very first song, Veritas, which is just the truth,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's end with a death, which is our last song of the album and also our latest single, called Die Toten vergessen nicht, which
Mhm.
can be translated to The Dead Don't Forget.
Ah, I was so close. I was looking. Mein Deutsch schlecht, but I was looking. I was like, "That's the dead something," the dead
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
No,
So close, man.
no. I
And
tried.
and yeah, and the whole topic, this whole Vanitas theme was perfect because there was so much room to play with it, to have a meaning on every little thing. There's like little Easter eggs. You can hide some meanings, and yeah, we really loved working with it.
Cool. Um, Obviously, as well, you've also done videos for Das Puppenhaus and Lehrkinder. They're both very, again, very striking, very visual. Um, how important is it to the band to have such a strong image and imagery used?
Yeah, I mean, our look, our whole thing is very important for us. How we look, our band outfits, or makeup. So we are a very visual band at all,
Mhm.
and for sure, it's also very important to show this with our music videos because it's not only about the music; it's about
Mm.
what you hear and what you see.
Yeah,
And especially within the last months, because of this COVID stuff, we had to go out in the world to show something. We want to be seen, we want to be heard, and having really, really big music videos was very important for us.
mm. Yeah. Especially, I think a lot of bands tend to rely on performance videos because they're easier to make. Although obviously not right now, where there's no shows.
Yeah.
But, but it's good to have something that makes you stand out a little bit more. I think.
Yeah, and I have to be honest, it's easier nowadays to record a music video. Yeah, it is. But I think at some point the quality got really, really bad because sometimes I'm seeing new music videos of other bands and I think I wouldn't have released that because it's nothing special. If I think back about the first music videos I saw when I was young, I thought well, these were brilliant. I've watched them hundreds of times because they were great. Yeah. And that's always
Yeah,
I want to achieve. I want to create videos I love and I want to see later because I think if I feel that I feel that the other people or the fans think the same.
yeah. It's almost a shame that there isn't quite so much music television anymore. It's all kind of done on YouTube now. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being very little and seeing the Thriller video and getting frightened to death. I'm sure the videos for Das Puppenhaus would have frightened the shit out of some 5-year-old that was child
Yeah.
set.
Exactly. It's sometimes it's just fun if you release such feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the album also has a guest appearance from Chris from Lord of the Lost. How did the collaboration come to be?
Actually, that's very easy because Chris is a producer since Apostasy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we already wanted to do a feature on Apostasy, And we also did a hidden feature because the last spoken words on "Wat ist denn los mit dir?" This is Chris. And yeah, this time we thought, okay, now we found the time and do a proper song together.
Okay. That was putting me in my place for not doing enough research. Well, like we mentioned before, obviously the pandemic has hit badly. It's affected a lot of live shows and that. How badly has it affected plans to promote this album?
Yeah. Actually, we were quite lucky because we finished the whole recording process before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But what hit us really hard was the touring thing. Yeah? We had to cancel or postpone our Europe tour or China tour. There were no festivals, and nowadays it's the most important thing for a band is to go out and play your shows. And for me, it's also the thing I like to do most, because live I'm a very powerful person. I want to express myself, and the best way I can do it is having a really good live show. And yeah, it really sucked. We hoped that we can start with a tour at the beginning of 2021. So all the postponed dates. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
No, I hope so for your sake as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
But obviously, some bands in Germany have been doing socially distant shows like Destruction and a few others. They've done. I don't know quite how they work, but like some of them have done drive-in shows like Doro and a few others. But is that something you'd be interested in doing at some point, or would you rather just wait until you can have the full experience?
We got a lot of requests for stuff like that, like drive-in shows. We even got asked to play in a circus. And we're just like, no, it just doesn't fit to Nachtblut because we need the energy. I want a fucking mosh pit in front of the stage and not people sitting in their cars.
No.
I mean, give me 1 second. I need to translate one word because I don't know the English word for it. Oh, it's pretty easy. It's a beach chair. There was one social distancing show in Germany where the people can sit together in a beach chair. There's a very famous beach chair in Germany where you can only sit 2 persons in it. I don't know if you know it. And there is a social distance show with that. And when we talked about that with my bandmates, I just said, if I am on stage and somebody sitting in the beach chair and putting up his feet, I just want to go down and punch him because it just doesn't fit. So actually, to come to a short point, no, we just we said we don't want to do shows like this. It's like go big or go home.
Absolutely. And like you said, for a band where aesthetics and visuals are so important, you just won't get the full experience. I don't mean any disrespect to like thrash bands or whatever, but they are a little bit more stripped down, so it doesn't quite matter as much.
I mean, never say never. So if the whole thing won't change for the next years, then we have to rethink about that. But for now, we don't want to do it. I mean, I just heard about a show from Marduk in a church, which is very funny, actually.
Of all Cradle of Filth did one as well a month or so ago in a church in Ipswich, I think. It's just
it's a comeback of the churches, obviously. I don't know what's going on. But playing with Nachtblut in a church, I mean, it's blasphemic for sure.
Yeah.
But for now, I rather wait and hope.
The thing about that is, I don't know what I love more, the idea of a band with like blasphemous tendencies playing in a church, or the idea that a band like that has to ask a priest, can we please play in your church, please? Sorry for calling you an asshole for 20 years, but
yeah. We won't sell our Jesus is a concerts tonight. It's okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Ablaz, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today, mate. I really do appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you. Was a nice talk with you.
Vielen Dank.
Sehr gerne.